I bought my Huion Kamvas Pro 16 back in February of 2020. I did a first impressions video followed by a separate in-depth review as well. You can check the links in the description if you want to watch those videos. But I've had this display drawing tablet for 6 years now at the time of making this video. And I figured it was high time to give an update and let you know if it's worth the buy now. I did something similar with my Samsung Galaxy tablet S7 Plus. Wow, that's a mouthful, which I bought in October of 2022, I believe. And I did a similar "Is this tablet still worth it?" video back in 2024, and it seemed to help a lot of people. So I figured, doing something similar for the Huion Kamvas Pro 16 would be good too. Now, before I actually start talking about whether the Huion Kamvas Pro 16 is worth buying or not, I figured I'd show a quick difference between the different types of drawing tablets that are available. And I figured this would be good for, especially for those just getting into digital art or are trying to buy a drawing tablet for someone as a gift and they have no knowledge of this matter. So broadly speaking, there are three different types of drawing tablets. The first one is the non-displayed tablets. These are generally cheap and affordable, small and compact in size, which makes them pretty portable as well. And so if you're starting off, then this is a very safe and good option. But it does need to be connected to a PC, a Mac, or a laptop because it's basically just a smooth slab of surface that acts very similar to a mouse strap pad on laptops. This is usually perfect for, like I said, for people who are on a tight budget or who are a hobbyist artist, and or in some rare cases a traditional artist who is thinking of dipping their toes into digital art and don't want to just fully go in and buy an expensive equipment. Now, there are a number of artists who use these non-display tablets and make amazing art. So just because it's cheap does not mean that you cannot make good art out of this. And I think this is something that as artists we need to stress, and we need to have this ingrained in us, because it's very easy to think that that if you have more expensive art supply or an art tool, then it'll make me a better artist, or I'll be able to make better art with it, which is seriously not true at all. So that's number one, non-display tablets. On number two, we have your display tablets. These can get from mid-range to really expensive real quick, and they're also quite big in size. So you can get them in a variety of sizes from, I believe, starting with 12-inch, or is it 14 inches, to 30 plus inches wide. So they can get pretty big as well. And the price range is also quite varied. And you still need to connect this to a PC or a Mac or laptop, because it's basically a monitor that you can draw on with a stylus, and some of the higher end models will have touch capabilities as well. So it's basically like a extended monitor that you can use to draw on. Now, some of the display tablets, for example, are the Wacom's Cintiq line, and then you have some from Huion as well, the Kamvas Pro series, and then you have a few from XP Pen as well. So these are the three, I guess you could say, quote unquote, big or well-established companies. You do have other companies as well, but these three are somewhat up there. And Wacom is basically like the Apple of the drawing tablet world. So they are like in the upper echelons. They are like the premium product, and the prices will dictate that, as well as the build quality as well. Next, we have the standalone tablets, and these are generally really expensive and highly portable. And the reason why it's expensive and portable is because these are basically mini computers that don't need to be connected to a PC, a Mac, or a laptop. So it's usually Android based or Apple's OS iPad, or you have the Samsung line, Galaxy line, which is Android based, and then we have Wacom's Mobile Studio as well. I believe the newer one is called Move Inkpad, if I'm not mistaken. I'll show images on the screen. So yeah, very compact in size and highly portable and highly expensive as well. So these are the three general categories that you'll find drawing tablets in. And out of the three, if you are just starting out and you are tight on budget, you can start with the non-display tablets and then slowly move your way to either a display tablet or a standalone tablet, depending on your budget again. And personally, for me, I started off with the non-display tablets. I believe the very first one that I had was the Wacom One, and after that I bought the Wacom Intuos Pro, which was still a non-display tablet, and from then on I upgraded to the one that I have now, the Huion Kamvas Pro 16. Now the Huion Kamvas Pro 16, like I said earlier, is a display monitor tablet, meaning I have to connect it to my laptop for me to use it, like I've shown in the video. So I bought this display tablet monitor back in February 2020, and it had a pretty good discount for, I forgot how many percentage, but it was quite good. I got it for 35,999, which I believe in today's exchange rate, it's about just below 400 US dollars. So it was a steal back then because the MRP was 50,000 plus. So yeah, a decent discount back then as well. Now this, like I said, this is not a review of the tablet because I've already done that. This is more of an update to tell you whether this tablet is worth it now after using it for 6 years and whether it still holds up. So with that being said, I have three major updates regarding my tablet that I'm using that I think I need to mention, and these are I wouldn't necessarily say negative, it's more of nitpicking. And out of the three, one is my own an accident that happened that I could have prevented it and is my fault. So that's completely on me, and I don't blame XP Pen in any way. The other two are more of like a nitpicking and wishing and hoping that the newer models would not have this issue. And so with that out of the way, the first point that I want to make is that both in my unboxing and review video, I mentioned how well built the tablet was, and it still is. It's true, but I had a minor accident with it while I was cleaning my workstation, my table, where I held my tablet like this. I'll try and show a photo, or take a photo of it. I don't know if it'll be possible or not. So I was holding my tablet like this in one hand at the corner, the left side corner of the tablet, where the the shortcut keys are. And because of that, the whole weight of the tablet shifted to the right. And lo and behold, the left side display panel over here, it has started popping out of it. I tried and push it back in, but somehow the glue is just not holding it up anymore. So it pops back out. But thankfully, and again, this is my fault completely, and I shouldn't have held the tablet like that. So yeah, thankfully all the shortcut keys are still working, and just the drawing the work area on this corner also is still working, so there are no issues as such. So yeah, the build quality is actually good, and I would advise taking care when you move this thing around and not to end up like me. Talking about the build quality, I want to focus on the stand now, because while it's sturdy and it has weight to it, it does the job well. I wish the lower lip here that I'm showing is like, I wish there was some kind of lock mechanism when you open, and it stays in that open state. Um, and it's a bit harder to close, because what happens is that when I have, say, for example, I cover this tablet with a cloth over it, just to prevent, dust from settling and, potentially having like a scratch on the surface. So I put a cloth over it. And sometimes when I try and pick up the tablet with the cloth, the lower lip here will get close. The cloth will go over it and it'll close the lip. And there's a very good chance of the tablet just sliding off out of my hands and smashing onto the ground below. So I think this is something I wish that they had done, and maybe in like the newer versions, they would implement this on the stand, to have some sort of like a locking mechanism when it's open, so that it doesn't close back really like easily. So that's number two. Number three, thirdly, there's this slight misalignment between the tip of the pen and the cursor on the lower side and the corners over here on the sides. I hope this is visible and my camera is able to pick it up. But yeah, it's very, it's almost like unnoticeable. But if you are very meticulous, you'll be able to see it. Sometimes it's a bit like it's more prominent, but if you do the the alignment calibration tests, then it gets better. But the corners are noticeable. Now again, this doesn't affect my workflow as such, because I don't draw on the corners like this over here. If there's something that I want to draw that is in the corner, I move it to the central workspace area and I draw it there. So I don't, move my hands in those corners so much. And yeah, so it's something that's like another, not necessarily a negative point, but I'm just nitpicking and hoping and wishing that Huion does a better finishing on these products down the line. And I think the newer models might have had these fixes. I'm not sure. And so, yeah, these are the three main points that I wanted to bring up, because my overall experience with this display tablet has been really good. And if I had to say whether you should buy this tablet this year or in the coming years, then my answer would be a resounding yes, which I think you could have probably guessed it by now, because the pros easily outweigh the cons. You don't need the latest build, the latest model, because the differences are very minute. Now if these negatives, or the cons, quote unquote, that I mentioned, if these are fixed in the newer versions, then sure, okay, if you have the budget for it, then you can buy, I would recommend buying the newer models. But other than that, like, yeah, it's these are not groundbreaking deals. It's just minute nitpicking and hoping that they up their game, and Huion grows in the company, grows and it gets better. Because if that happens, then it's good for consumers like us, for us, instead of just Wacom capitalizing on the market. Now, while I was making this video, I checked the pricing again over on Amazon for the tablet. And as of right now, when I upload this video, the tablet is at 28,499, which is really, really cheap. So if you are a bit tight on your budget, but you want a good display tablet, then I would highly recommend going for this tablet and buying this tablet. I've pinned a comment with a link for you guys. This is an affiliate link. So if you buy from this link, then I get a bit of commission back from Amazon with no extra charges on your part. So you don't have to pay any extra money, but I get a bit of commission from Amazon. Now there is a new version of the Huion Kamvas Pro 16, which has, I believe, a 4K display. I would not personally recommend this because from the reviews that I've seen, the 16-inch screen is just too small for a 4K display. Because while yes, the screen will look sharper, the pixels will look sharper, and your art will look more crispy, at the same time the screen, the 16-inch, is just too small, so there's this more pixels in the 4K display now. So if there's more pixel, it means that everything is going to look more sharper and yes, clearer, but it's also going to look smaller as well. So icons, text, and just the overall layout will be smaller and more difficult to not just see but also tap and to select, because the whole screen is this whole screen is small, and on top of that, if it gets, the display gets more refined and everything that you can see is more sharper and smaller, then it'll get more difficult for you to actually work on. So full 1920 by 1080 HD display is more than enough. So yeah, all in all, I did still recommend the Huion Kamvas Pro 16 display tablet, the older model, even now, especially if you can get it at a discounted rate like the one that's there in Amazon right now, or elsewhere. And if you are starting out and you're on a budget but you want a good display tablet instead of a non-display tablet, then yeah, the Huion Kamvas Pro 16 is a good option. So I hope this video was helpful and useful to you guys. If it was, then please like the video, subscribe for newer videos, and yeah, leave a comment as well. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.